We are here at the Half War Eagle 21-3, man. All right, listen, like and subscribe to YouTube. You know what it is.
All right.
Make sure that you are on Instagram and Twitter following there, the War Report. You know what it is on that too. And then, make sure you're hitting us up on TikTok, TW Report. Let's talk about the first half. This is the first time I have come to this halftime thing this year and been excited about what I've seen from my team. First time. So let's get into it. Let's pick up where we started this conversation, but before we got on air, and talk about Bo Nix, the much
Mike.
criticized Bo Nix from our chats. Bo Nix is playing a very, very good game. Well, let me back off the varies. Bo Nix is playing the kind of game we have wanted to see him play, which is manage what's in front of you, don't take stupid sacks, don't throw the ball up for grabs much. He had a couple of throws that I wish he hadn't thrown out there, but overall, I am not upset at what I've seen from our quarterback in this game.
Let me correct you real quick because you just said something. You said this is the type of game we want to see Bo Nix play. No, I want to see Bo Nix look like Deshaun Watson. That's what I thought we was getting when we got him out of Pinson Valley. That was wrong.
Listen, I'm talking about my expectations since seeing him actually.
Clearly, your expectations have adjusted.
Yeah, I'm not talking about my expectations of five-star Bo. I'm talking about my expectations of freshman Bo turning to sophomore Bo. Those are way different expectations after seeing him routinely struggle. We talked about the mechanics and the inconsistency, the super huge overthrow on Seth in the slant, right? That almost sailed on him for a pick is just indicative of the things that we see from him. But then you see the two really great back shoulder throws. If Seth Williams doesn't sit there and try to get an additional couple of yards for a touchdown, we're set up at the 1 yard line pretty much right there. The other back shoulder throw, which is really great, threw that with anticipation, something we talked about he doesn't do often. The throw to Capers, the man was wide open, but it was on the money.
On the short throws, on the throws to Eli, man, he's right there. Put it on his hands. Don't make him reach back. Don't make him dig down for it. Put it right there.
Putting it in a position where guys can catch the ball and keep running. So again, I'm not mad at all in what I've seen from Bo Nix in the first half of this game. I want to hear Mike. Because Mike is
Mike. Actually, you know what? Here's the deal. I'm giving credit to the coaches. Actually, right? I'm saying, listen, like the game plan was clear, right? 15 throws to 18 rushes shows me balance. First of all, right? We are effectively running the ball. Bo's got, to B's point about the best Bo, he's got 37 rushing yards in this game. I mean, he's only our second leading rusher by 4 yards, right? I see balance on offense, which takes a lot off of him, so there's a lot less pressure on these throws. We didn't need him to do much today, but again, hit the wide open man, right? I just think he's playing average football against what you guys all bemoaned was a trash LSU defense, right? Mm-hmm. To see an average, I'm just saying, it just looks like the game plan had developed, and that's what I wanted to see from last week, right? I said explicitly, I would like to see them focus more on the run game and see our evolution into more of a run play action team where, people are trying to stop Tank and Shivers and worried about Bo keeping it. And then every once in a while, he hits him with a pass over the top. Yeah, I'll take it. I don't have any Bo bashing to do today. I'm just saying, I've given more credit to the game plan, like the balance. Again, 15 throws to 18 rushes is where we should be.
The game plan can be whatever it is. He still has to make the throws. So I am giving him credit for making the throws when they're there. So I'm not saying Bo Nix is a Heisman candidate. I'm saying the throws that have been presented to him, even with a great game plan, he's capable of messing that up. But let's just be real, and the Auburn fan in us is all saying what Mike Hicks is saying right now. Until the game is over with, I am definitely not smoking any cigars, right?
Yeah. No, not on this one. Mm-hmm.
Right.
These games notoriously end in crazy manners. So I'm not. I remember I said in pregame, we either win close, lose close, or get blown out.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since we've seen a blown out on our end of LSU.
Yeah, this is not unusual for us to be up at the half big against LSU. and we have lost those games of recent with us doing that. So,
Or they just become a nail biter at the end.
right,
Right. We may
correct.
even still pull it out, but it's a tale of two different halves. We're stressing at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
hopefully the second half we don't see that.
the LSU quarterback doesn't look unserviceable. I mean, like he's been under a lot of pressure this game, right? And he's rolling around and he's trying to make plays for his team. We have shut down their run game is non-existent, right? 35 yards rushing on 18 carries. So they've got 18 carries and we've got 18 carries, but we've got 112 yards rushing and they got 35. So like that is effectively shutting down a run game no matter who the opponent is, right?
Right.
So we've taken a dynamic away from their offense and forced him to beat us. And again, to his credit, for a true freshman in his second start, he's trying. It's a lot. It's a tall task. But I'm very impressed with defensive game plan as well too, man. We've been wanting to see a pass rush, and it's creating opportunities for these DB.
I'm excited to see the pass rush that does not always. They were blitzing a lot the first two drives, and I think I said that even in the chat. We were blitzing a ton. They're mixing up the blitzes a lot more now. What they're doing is showing the same front, but then they're backing out of the blitz a lot, and so it's causing the offensive line to have to adjust to what they're seeing. They're having to make site adjustments as opposed to just understand pre-snap what's happening. And for all of the ways that I get on him, Big Cat he's owning that guy over there on the right side of the or the left side of the offensive line.
How many sacks?
He hasn't sacked him yet, but I'm talking about pressure.
He's not going to sack anybody.
Listen,
No.
I'm okay with pressures when it's a quarterback that's not pinpoint accurate.
That's true.
And it's a guy who is not Joe Burrow back there. Pressure is really all you need because he had the high throw for almost the pick six that happened there. I don't know. He tried to Bo Nix at one time, and he ended up getting strips sacked, and we ended up running that in for a touchdown. That's the kind of pressure you need to put on a guy who doesn't have pinpoint accuracy. Go ahead.
A sack is always great, but the W here is if you can throw off their timing. And that's especially important when you have a freshman quarterback on his first SEC road game. If you can just throw off his timing, it sets you up well defensively, which is what we're doing, is why we look as good as we do so far.
Yeah, should have had 2 defensive scores in this game. FYI, right?
Agreed.
Should have 2 defensive scores in this game. So I credited 2 touchdowns to the defense.
Oh, well, the defense absolutely scored one of them. The second one is as a result of that interception. So I'm not saying that our offense is lighting it up by any means. What I am saying is that there is not a phase in this game right now where I'm looking at us and saying, man, we're not playing well right there. Our special teams almost had a letdown at the end of the half there because Daniel Carlson.
Carlson played the game.
Anders Carlson definitely saved a touchdown that would have been a momentum swing going into the half.
Yeah, for sure.
But every other phase of the game, besides that one mistake, I think we played really, really, really well.
Let me counter though with, and I'm posing the question to the group, right? Without the defensive score and the defensive setup on what should have been a pick six, are we still having the same conversation about this offense if we only have 7 offensive points put up?
Without Seth Williams fumbling the ball on the 2-yard line, would we have scored on that drive?
Okay, that's fair.
And I think what's
wait, well, we scored anyway. We scored after the interception.
But the defense had to do.
What's encouraging is that we saw this offense, and what reason why I was holding out any optimism was I had yet to see this offense drive the length of the field to get a score. And late in the second quarter, after they've seen what the defense is doing. From the 1-yard line, they dropped. That's encouraging going into the half, because typically by this point Auburn has been stopped. They figured out what we're doing, and now we're having difficult time sustaining drives. For us to do that this late in the half was very encouraging for the offense.
So sans the Seth Williams fumble, technically they did it twice, right?
They drove the field on that
twice.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Which was a great throw by Bo. The
offense is not playing bad. They're not playing great, but they're doing what we need them to do, which is sustain a few drives. They're able to. Bo is not, to this point, he's avoided disaster with play. He's escaped the pocket the times that he's needed to and gotten upfield, gotten positive yards, thrown the ball away when he needed to, went to a check down once with Sean Shivers after running around for 8 minutes. Like, he's done things this game that we have not seen him typically do. So I'm encouraged by that. But again, this is Auburn versus LSU. This game is so not over with. And so I am not celebrating too early.
I disagree. I think this game is just about over, number one, because
What do you gotta do with that?
I called that LSU was trash. I've been saying it all year. So this is not a surprise. Even though this is encouraging to us, Ike has been telling us for a week that the outside run was available on LSU. So when we
which is why they've been going to Shivers more than Tank. But Tank showed he has the speed to get to the outside when they handed it to him on the 1 yard line.
He plays well going outside. I think he probably prefers it a little more than he should. But still, we had that available because LSU's bad against the run, especially the outside.
Yeah.
This
so
is encouraging.
the thing is, and I'm gonna let you go back. The reason why Tank should be successful in this game to the outside is because they expect him to be our between the tackles guy.
Right.
And their linebackers and their ends are so accustomed to crashing down against the run, they leave that outside bounce open a lot. And so when Tank's in there, they're automatically thinking, stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. But they're not thinking contain, which is why he went up the field for like 20-something yards on that first play. But go ahead, B. Will.
So the reason I think it's over is because we're seeing what we thought we would see from LSU's defense. We haven't scored a bunch of points, but I'd give us, if I'm counting wins and losses in my head on a per drive basis, it feels like we got 2 long drives for touchdowns. I know Seth fumbled that one away, but that is, when was the last time we had a 99-yard drive that wasn't against a team that, wasn't in our conference? We are doing what we should do against them. They are bad on defense. They looked all world last week against South Carolina, but they ran the ball a whole lot for a whole lot of yards. They're not getting that. So their freshman QB can get exposed as a freshman QB, which is just part of the lumps. I mean, Bo did it last year, and he's still done it this year. So that's not a great example for him. But I don't know. It's not that they don't have the weapons, the ability to still put up points. It's that if you're going to give up 99-yard drives, I do not expect your defense to get that much better from half to half, especially when we haven't even had. We seem to be settling into the game offensively, and I expect us to get better, even if they do adjust somewhat defensively on their end. I expect us to be able to possess and score enough points to maintain this lead. At worst, it'll be a 10-point win. At worst,
if the run game keeps going the way it is, then I agree with you. But like, I don't put it past Malzahn to coach us out of this game, right? Like,
we'll see if he takes his foot off the gas.
I mean, you're right. Like, I mean, that's been something that we've bemoaned as Auburn fans throughout the years, right? Is that we get up big, and then in the second half, they completely change the offensive strategy. Like, if we come out in the second half and see a bunch of throws by Bo, I'm going to be flipping my, expletive. Like,
running up the middle, like stuff that we know is not a part of the game plan.
Correct, right? So again, assuming that even though LSU's defense is trash, you have to assume they're going to try to make some defensive adjustments. And what is the game plan for those adjustments, right? Like, that's what I want to see in the second half that will tell the tale of what Auburn is going to be moving forward, right? So
this first drive in the second half is going to tell a lot, right? Like, if the first half,
we get the ball,
we get the ball first. So this first drive is going to tell us a lot. If we're able to still move the ball after their second half adjustments and put a score on the board in this first drive, then I'm going to be a lot more comfortable. If we go out here and get a quick 3 and out and they come down here and score, then I'm going to be on the edge of my seat the rest of this game.
Hold on for dear life.
So we'll see what happens here. Any players in particular for you all that have jumped out on the screen?
Man, anybody that plays DB for Auburn right now, they're flying around the ball. Like, I mean, pick one. They look good in that defensive backfield right now. I mean, they kept Terrence Marshall at least under control. They contained him.
I think he's got 2 catches right now,
which is a good sign. I'll tell you here. He is. Oh man, he's not even on their deal. Wow. Okay.
He's definitely got a couple of catches though.
Yeah, he's got a couple of catches, but like, I mean, he's not running out of the stadium right now. Their leading receiver right now is McGrath, right? Ours is Stowe. Stowe's got 5 catches for 65 yards.
Yeah.
So that's encouraging. But looks like Marshall, yeah, he's got 4 catches. He's got 4 catches for 28 yards. So I mean, they're trying to get him the ball, but that's the type of game we needed him to have. Right, and this is a guy who has 9 TDs on the season, so keeping him out of the end zone is a huge win. I mean, I'm very thankful that Brandon didn't start. Right, like we'd be having a different conversation, I think, if Brandon had started.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear Brennan's the better quarterback, but what I'm encouraged by from our defense is we've played well against the run and we forced them to be one-dimensional. And actually, to me, the strength of our team is our coverage unit, right? And then you couple that with actually getting something that resembles a pass rush on a semi-consistent basis. Miles Brennan, though he's better, is going to still be difficult for him to move the ball when he's going into the teeth of what's our best thing, and his offensive line's not giving him time. And he's nowhere near as athletic as this guy is. So, so some of those design runs, you probably wouldn't see that as much from Brennan. I've seen a couple of times where they've had the running back flare out. Our linebacker is in man coverage, so he flexes out to chase him, and they've tried to run the quarterback keep, the delay. And our defensive line has done a good job of not allowing that middle to open up for it. So hopefully we'll continue to do that. If they saw what I saw, then they'll probably try to do something to widen out our defensive tackle so that will be open a little bit more, because we are manning up on that running back when he's flexing out to the side. So we'll see. All right, let's get over here. Second half is back on. We'll get back at you all after the game. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more smiles on our face after this. But until then, War Eagle.
War Eagle.